Greetings to all. Welcome back. Today we are going to learn third part of the lesson 10. Okay, third part of lesson 10. That is social transformation in Tamil Nadu. That's the title of the lesson. Okay. Already we have learned about Periyar and today continuation. Okay, continuation. Periyar had a close relationship with Singaravelar. Okay, Periyar had a close relationship with Singaravelar. Singaravelar is considered the first communist of South India. So this is one mark question. First communist of South India, Singaravelar. He was the pioneer of Buddhism. He was the pioneer of Buddhism. In 1936, Periyar translated Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's book. Okay, Periyar translated Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's book into Tamil. The name of that book, Annihilation of Caste. Annihilation of Caste, that is in Tamil, Chadi Olippu. Annihilation of Tamil. Periyar supported Ambedkar's demand for separate electorate for scheduled castes. Okay, Periyar supported Ambedkar's demand for separate electorates for scheduled castes. In 1937, Periyar started a movement against Rajaji's government. Okay, Rajaji's government. Because Rajaji introduced compulsory Hindi in schools. Compulsory Hindi in schools. The anti-Hindi agitation had a big impact on Tamil Nadu's politics. Anti-Hindi agitation had a big impact on Tamil Nadu's politics. Periyar was imprisoned. Periyar was imprisoned for his role in the movement. For his role in the movement. Periyar was elected as the president of the Justice Party when he was still in jail. Okay, when he was still in jail. Then the Justice Party joined with the self-respect movement. This is the one mark question. Justice Party joined with the self-respect movement. Okay, next. It was renamed as Dravida Kazhagam. Renamed as Dravida Kazhagam in 1944. 1944. Okay, next. Rajaji, the Chief Minister of Madras State, introduced a vocational education program, Tholir Kalvi, vocational education program. This program encouraged the children to get training of their father's occupation. Okay, get training of their father's occupation. Periyar criticized it as Kulakalvi Tittam. Kulakalvi Tittam, that is caste-based education scheme. Kulakalvi Tittam means caste-based education scheme. Periyar's campaigns against Kulakalvi Tittam led to the resignation of Rajaji. Okay, because of Periyar's campaign against Kulakalvi Tittam, Rajaji resigned. Then K. Kamaraj became the Chief Minister of Madras State. Periyar died at the age of 94. Periyar died at the age of 94, that is in the year 1973. His mortal remains were buried at Periyar Tidal, Madras. Mortal remains means his dead body was buried at Periyar Tidal in Madras. Periyar, a feminist. Now we will say Periyar, a feminist. A feminist means someone who supports equal rights for women. Okay. One who supports equal rights for women is known as what? A feminist. Periyar was critical of patriarchy. Patriarchy means a system of society or government. A system of society or government. Hold the power. Okay, system of society or government. Men hold the power. Men hold the power. Here women are largely excluded from it. No power was in the hands of this women. That is known as patriarchy. All the powers were in the hands of men only. Okay, so Periyar was critical of patriarchy. He condemned child marriage, criticized child marriage, and Devadasi system. Devadasi means Devadasi is a Sanskrit word. Devadasi is a Sanskrit word. Devadasi means servant of God or goddess. Servant of God or goddess. Okay, in the last page of this lesson, we will learn elaborately about the Devadasi system. Okay, from 1929 onwards, Periyar began to give voice over the plight of women, that is a bad condition of women. Plight means bad condition. In the self-respect conferences of women in the self-respect conferences, Periyar had been emphasizing women's right to divorce and property. Women's right to divorce right is there, and property right is also there for women. He refused to terms like giving in marriage. He didn't like that one. He said this treat women as a thing. Giving in marriage treat women as a thing only. Instead of that, he took a word from Tirukural, that is a Valkai Thunai, Tamil word. Valkai Thunai, companion. Okay, Valkai Thunai. Periyar's most important work on this subject is why the woman is enslaved. Okay, why the woman is enslaved. பெண் ஏன் அடிமையானாள். பெண் ஏன் அடிமையானாள். Okay. Next, Periyar believed that property rights for women would provide them a social status and protection. Okay, social status and also protection. The property right is giving women social right, status and protection. Okay. In 1899, Government of Tamil Nadu fulfilled the dream of radical reformers. Radical reformers means பகுத்தறிவுவாதிகள். In 1989, Government of Tamil Nadu fulfilled the dream of radical reforms. So, radical reformers' dream was fulfilled by the government. How it was fulfilled? Introduction of the Hindu Succession Tamil Nadu Amendment Act of 1989. Government of Tamil Nadu Amendment Act was introduced. Okay, which ensured the equal rights to ancestral property for women inheritance. So this ancestors property is also given for female child also. Both male and female children can get the property right. This act became a trendsetter. Okay, this act became a trendsetter. It led to similar legislation. Legislation means passing acts at the national level. Passing acts at the national level. Next, we will see Rettaimalai Srinivasan. Okay, what we are going to see? Rettaimalai Srinivasan. Rettaimalai Srinivasan was born in 1859 at Kanchipuram. He fought for social justice, equality and civil rights. Okay, social justice, equality and civil rights of the marginalized in the caste order. That means backward people. Okay, marginalized in the caste order. He was honored with different titles. That means he got different titles for his selfless social services. For his selfless social services. First title, Rao Sahib. That was in the year 1926. Second one, Rao Bahadur. That was in the year 1930. And third one, Diwan Bahadur. That was in the year 1936. Rao Sahib, Rao Bahadur, Diwan Bahadur. Okay. His autobiography was Jeeviya Sarida Surukkam. Jeeviya Sarida Surukkam was the autobiography of Rettaimalai Srinivasan. It was published in the year 1939. 1939, beginning of Second World War. And it is one of the earliest autobiographies. Rettaimalai Srinivasan had faced the horrors of untouchability. horrors of untouchability. He worked hard for the progress of deprived caste people. Deprived caste also meaning backward people only. He founded the Adi Dravida Mahajana Sabha in 1893. Adi Dravida Mahajana Sabha. He served as the president of the Scheduled Caste Federation and the Madras Provincial Depressed Class Federation, two organizations. He served, that means he became the president of Scheduled Caste Federation, that is one of the organs, and the Madras Provincial Depressed Class Federation. Okay. And Rettimali Srinivasar was a close associate, that means a friend we can say, of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, Rettimali Srinivasar was a close associate of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He participated in the first and second roundtable conferences held in London. Okay, you know, first roundtable conference 1930 and second roundtable conference 1931. Both the conferences held in London. Okay. And he voiced the opinions of marginalized sections of the society. He talked for the improvement of the marginalized sections of the people. He was a signatory to the Pune Pact of 1932. Understand, he was a signatory to the Pune Pact of 1932. That is, Pune Pact was signed in the year 1932. Many important personalities signed in that Pune Pact, and our Rettimali Srinivasan is also one of the persons, okay, to sign the, who were signing in the Pune Pact of 1932. M.C. Raja. Next, M.C. Raja. M.C. Raja is popularly known as Mailai Chinnathambi Raja. Mailai Chinnathambi Raja. He was one of the prominent leaders from the depressed class. He was the leader, important leader from depressed class. He started his career as a teacher. Okay, as a teacher. He wrote different textbooks for schools and colleges. He was one of the founding members of South Indian Liberal Federation, that is Justice Party, SILF, South Indian Liberal Federation. He was the first elected Legislative Council member from the depressed class in Madras province. Okay, first elected Legislative Council member from the depressed class in Madras province. He became the deputy leader of Justice Party in the Madras Legislative Council. He became the deputy leader of the Justice Party in the Madras Legislative Council. Okay. Next, in 1928, he founded the All India Depressed Class Association. All India Depressed Classes Association. And he worked as a leader of this association for a long time. He worked as a leader of this association for a long time. Next, this is a time to learn labor movements in Tamil Nadu. Labor movements in Tamil Nadu. The First World War, 1914 to 1918, First World War, provided stimulus to the industrial growth in India. Provided energy to industrial growth in India. These industries fulfilled the wartime needs. Okay, many people got employment opportunities. After the war, there were retrenchments, that is a reduction of cost across the industries because the wartime requirements were reduced. Prices increased, so labor movement started. Okay, labor movement started. B.P. Vadia, M. Singaravela, Thiruvi Kalyana Sundaram and others. B.P. Vadia, M. Singaravela, Thiruvi Kalyana Sundaram and others initiated the formation of labor unions in the Madras Presidency. In 1918, India's first organized trade union, the Madras Labour Union, was formed. So, India's first organized trade union, Madras Labour Union. And in which year it was formed? 1918. 1918, end of First World War. Okay. The first All India Trade Union, AITUC, abbreviation, AITUC, All India Trade Union Conference, was held on 31st October 1920 in Bombay. 31st October 1920, Bombay, first All India Trade Union Conference. The representatives discussed several resolutions. Several resolutions were discussed by the representatives. First one, demand for protection from police interference in labor disputes. Okay, protection from police interference in labor disputes. Maintenance of an unemployment register. Unemployment register should be maintained. Restriction on exporting foodstuffs. Want to stop the exporting of foodstuffs. Compensation for injuries. Compensation for injuries. And last one is health insurance. Health insurance. Like this, different and several resolutions were discussed. And in the Madras presidency, M. Singaravailar was a pioneer in the labor movement activities. Singaravailar was born in Madras. He was graduated from the Presidency College, University of Madras. He advocated, supported Buddhism in his early life itself. He knew many languages: Tamil, English, Urdu, Hindi, German, French, and Russian. All these languages. He wrote about ideas of Karl Marx, Charles Darwin, Herbert Spencer, and Albert Einstein in Tamil. Okay, he wrote about the ideas of three persons, three or four: Karl Marx, Charles Darwin, Herbert Spencer, and Albert Einstein in Tamil. He organized the first ever celebration of May Day in 1923. In 1923, first ever celebration of May Day. He was one of the early leaders of the Communist Party of India. He published a Tamil newspaper known as Tholilalan, Tamil word, Tholilalan, worker, to address the problems, to solve the problems of the working class people. He was closely associated with Periyar and the self-respect movement. Next, language agitation before Indian independence. Language is a dominant symbol, strong symbol of identity. It is associated with the culture and the sentiments. Tamil regained its importance in the later half of the 19th century and early 20th century. Maraimali Adigal's pure Tamil movement, the language reforms of Periyar, and Tamil Isai movement helped to galvanize, that is, improve the Tamil language. Tamil Renaissance helped in the development of modern Tamil language and its art forms. Agamic temples, that is Tamil word, agamic temples, did not permit rituals in Tamil. Tamil songs had a marginal place in musical concert, that means musical programs, events. Abraham Pandita studied the history of Tamil music and tried to reconstruct the ancient Tamil musical system. Abraham Pandita studied the history of Tamil music and tried to reconstruct the ancient Tamil musical system. He founded the Tanjore Sangeeta Vidya Mahajana Sangam. Tanjore Sangeeta Vidya Mahajana Sangam. In the year 1912. It became the kernel of the Tamil Isai movement. The movement gave importance to the singing of Tamil compositions, Tamil songs. The movement gave importance to the singing of Tamil compositions in music concerts, music programs, music events. Okay, the first Tamil Isai conference, one word answer. The first Tamil Isai conference was held in 1943 to discuss the status of Tamil music. The implementation of Hindi as a compulsory language in Tamil Nadu was a threat to Tamil language and culture. Okay, implementation of Hindi as a compulsory language in Tamil Nadu was a threat to Tamil language and culture, because they thought that the introduction of a Hindi language in Tamil Nadu, it is a threat to Tamil language and culture. That means it will affect the Tamil language and culture. Periyar declared that the introduction of Hindi over Tamil would deny the Dravidians of their job opportunity. Would deny the Dravidians of their job opportunity. That means because of the introduction of the Hindi, the Dravidians, they'll lose their job opportunity. Okay. Maraimali Adigal pointed out. Maraimali Adigal also said about this Hindi, that the Tamil language would suffer with the introduction of Hindi. That would suffer with the introduction of Hindi. The anti-Hindi campaigners considered it an ideological battle against Brahminism and the hegemony of Sanskrit over Tamil. Hegemony means dominance. Next, women's movement. To address the question of women empowerment in Madras Presidency, okay, to address the question of women empowerment in Madras Presidency, women's movement and organizations were established in the 20th century. Women's movements and organizations were established in the 20th century. Women's India Association, WIA, Women's India Association, and All India Women's Conference, AIWC, are the important organizations in Tamil Nadu. WIA was started in 1917 by Mrs. Annie Besant, Dorothy Jinarajadasa, and Margaret Cousins. Okay, and Margaret Cousins. Annie Besant, Dorothy Jinarajadasa, and Margaret Cousins at Adayar in Madras. This association published pamphlets, that is small booklets like that, and bulletins, newspapers, bulletins, in different languages to detail the problems of personal hygiene, marriage laws, voting rights, child care, and women's role in the public. Public means here social life. WIA formed the All India Women's Conference in 1927 to address the problem, to solve the problem of women's education. Women's liberation was one of the important objectives of self-respect movement. Onward question. Women's liberation was one of the important objectives of the self-respect movement. The members of the self-respect movement, led by Periyar, EVR, worked for gender equality. The movement provided a space for women to share their ideas. There were several women activists in this movement. Dr. Muthulakshmi Ammayar, Nagammai, Kannamma, Neelavadi, Moovalur Ramamurdam, Rukmani Ammal, Alarmel Mangai Thayammal, Neelambigai, and Sivagami Chidambaranar are very important women activists. Muthulakshmi Ammayar, Nagammai, Kannamma, Neelavadi, Moovalur Ramamurdam, Rukmani Ammal, Alarmel Mangai Thayammal, Neelambigai, and Sivagami Chidambaranar are important. There was a custom of dedicating young girls to the Hindu temples as a servant of a god known as Devadasi. Okay, servant of God, young girls. They are called as Devadasis. If it is considered as a service to God, so it got corrupted and paved the way for the immortality and abuse of women. Okay, and service of God, soon it got corrupted and paved the way for immortality and abuse of women. One of the important leaders who fought against this system was Dr. Muthulakshmi Ammayar. Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy. She dedicated herself to the cause of removing Devadasi system in Tamil Nadu. Finally, the Madras Devadasi Act was passed by the government in 1947. By the end of her ability, this act was passed by the government in the year 1947. Okay, children, lesson over. With this, I finish today's session, and in the next session, we will see the question answers. Okay, learn well, children, for the exam, because midterm examination will be there. Okay, bye, children. Thank you.